What's going on, everybody? This is Corey from Day Traders Versus. So today, I want to go over news and futures first. So far today, we had core retail sales, and industrial production. Those were the main things I was looking at for today. With the retail sales being the most important thing. I figured we would be up, but we weren't. Kind of thought that December numbers would be up a little higher than this, but that's okay. Um, and then I thought that industrial production numbers would be off. I thought that would have some play with what's going on with supply and demand. And I don't know how I missed the consumer sentiment, but I completely missed that. But that's okay. And then the futures, they end the day up, but most of the day they spent down or almost flat most of the day. So that's what we dealt with. Now, as far as the charts goes, um, we traded down into back into this gap, this imbalance right here, fair value gap as an imbalance, and then further down into this daily order block and into this range, this Wicks range that pushed us back up to the this imbalance, this bearish imbalance here. Go to the 4 hour. Let's go to the 1 hour. I didn't trade or do a video yesterday, but I was looking at this over Thursday night within this little range right here. I assumed that we had rejected the low of this PD, of this gap and imbalance gap. And I did note that this order block took us down to the low. So when I saw that this took us down to the low, I thought that this last down candle would hold as an order block. And I was able to get in a couple entries around 52, 62, and 69. Um, I was able to close those out in profit and break even on the high. But what I didn't account for, I assume that with us holding this, that we trade above the weekly and start to try to push back up because we made this rejection and this one here. So I thought we'd make another high here. We push up to make a new high or a higher low, a lower high here somewhere along the lines. But um, that's why I went ahead and moved this to break even. After I noticed these wicks, what I wasn't expecting was for this sell off to come as hard as it did. I thought we'd hold inside of this range for the day without a lot of movement, but um, once we took this out, there's a little imbalance here with a combination of a order block here, and that's on the 1 hour. I actually placed a limit order here at right around 46.20 that got triggered, and I thought we were good to go from here. I thought we push up from here and at least move into this order block um, that pushed us down in here, or at least above the weekly. But that didn't happen either. This imbalance right here, I didn't account for. That closed us and pushed us down to this area. Um, I didn't see it until after the fact, but I can see now why the weekly was such an important area. Of course, it's important, but it played out in this particular trade even more so because it lined up with the 50% of the last bearish imbalance that pushed us down. We had already decided we were bearish at this point last order block here, pushed this down, made this low, created this imbalance, pushed back up to it, midpoint, midpoint lines up with the weekly, rejected it, and dropped down to this level. But I did account for this. I try to stay bullish on S&P because I know, it's an economic gauge, so I try to stay bullish on it in most cases. But in this case, it was the better trade was to be bearish on this, and even though it did push back up. So as far as the trade that I took today, limit order was triggered here, right around here when it got back to this point. I took the approach that it wouldn't be coming back. Um, Smaller time frames. Let me check that. 15-minute. I took the approach that it would at least hold above here. And it didn't. Came back, took it out, came back to the entry. So 420 trade, 4620 trade got closed out right around here after I moved it in profit. Um, and I saw it come back later on, but I think around 12:30 I went ahead and finished up the day, and I could have gotten back in here, but at that point the trading day was pretty much over for me. So overall, finish the day up, and finish the week up about 10% almost. Missed it by like a hair, but that's pretty good. As far as what to look forward to next week, I'll probably do a video on Sunday, just to get a heads up. But near the opening on Sunday evening around 6. But nothing big. We have Monday is a bank holiday, so rest and recovery day and study day. No USD news, no news. We got some Euro stuff, nothing. Some Euro stuff, some pound stuff, nothing big. Um, this might be something to look at. Red folder on Wednesday on GBP. So if you trade in that, look at that. um, CAD, slight news on that, but the biggest news day for USD is on Thursday, where we got unemployment claims and oil. So should be kind of a decent week. We should be able to get some decent technical setups. But overall, that's what we are going to be seeing next week. And um only other thing um only other thing I can think of is, as far as what we look for next week, do we go ahead and come back into this imbalance between this high and this low and feel it near the monthly and yearly? So that'll be we left this PD down here, down here, and now we're here. We have this order block on the 4 hour that's near the low. Or do we want to just feel this, reject, and continue? Or we'll just have to see how the market open up. But that's all I got. Thanks.